Harith, but still, you're trying to power through the raw healing of the Estus, and that's not easy to do.
Come on, Atlas.
I do like the fact that, yes, it's an Estus, yes, it's an Ube, but right now, Burn X Flash needs that tough front line. So far, the top front line has always been Fredrin. Sometimes you throw in a Barat every now and then. So I think that Echo would have a very good idea of banning these tough nuts.
Do you want to say that again? No?
You know,
all right.
You know, hard ones, you know?
Farsa getting picked up. And here's the thing. So far, everyone that has used the Farsa, Sanji, they've been doing very, very well in terms of dealing that very, very big burst damage. But one of the things about the Estus is you kind of don't care about that burst damage, especially if Burn X Flash, they really respect what Echo can bring. Just build in Athena shield.
We'll see how that goes. I personally don't believe that Athena Shield is going to save everybody because not everybody wants to consider going defensive. And in this particular case, even if you are going to be the carry, you're probably going to have to just wait out the Feathered Airstrike at the end of the day. I like where Echo's mindset is at. They're banning out the Arlet, making sure they also get rid of the Uranus just to make sure that they can walk away from the real-world manipulation. But on the side of Burn X Flash, right, they get rid of the Claude, safe laners. If they want to get rid of one more safe laner, they can also get rid of the Beatrix, which would either force Benny QT on both, either the Harith or even going along the lines of Brody. But even then, right, even then, I hope to see that maybe we see an adjustment for the side of maybe, I want to say Echo, but I think it's for Burn X Flash to kind of set the question after that last pick.
I want to say that Echo very likely will pick a marksman, which will be a Beatrix, because this draft, the first pick for Fredrin, second pick Lewis, third pick Fasa, is almost exactly the same as MPLPH game number 1 against Blacklist International, and their final pick was an Atlas.
Oh, that's going to be very interesting because now the Melissa is very strong going up against a composition that they want to pump up. The thing is, the Lapu is very strong going up against the Melissa. So now, looking at the composition, I can already see quite a lot of emphasis on the ATM. He is the one that can stop the Farsa. He is the one that can stop the Melissa. And I kind of feel like Echo knows that this is going to happen.
Yep.
So they're going to try to protect this Melissa and Farsa as much as they can.
Yep. I mean, I think I agree with Abstract on this one. The Atlas is looking mighty fine, but I like the fact that even for Burn X Flash, they considered all the options. The disengage coming in from that deadly catch is going to be highly valuable here, but instead of going for Atlas, a little bit more flexible, something to actually stop that people from dashing around and actually peel your opponents away rather than dedicating to one single ult. So having this Kufra and considering how Yaoi has been playing so far in the past 2 games on fumes, I think his natural instinct, just like your Taijutsu, his fight or flight on Kufra is still tip-top.
I gotta say, production, scriptwriters, you guys deserve the rest. No more fun facts for today. We're gonna save all of that for tomorrow. This is the very last match of the day. Let's enjoy the game. And speaking of which, for you guys, good luck. Because I'm gonna shut down my brain. I'm gonna enjoy the next 20, 30 minutes, 40, 50, maybe an
keep
hour
on going.
of Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Yeah, keep on going. Our record now is 39 minutes. Let's see if Burn X and Echo beat the limits. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of today as both of these teams look to represent their country. Burn X Flash and Echo for the very last time in MSC.
The second wind is already applied to Echo in the last game. They had some momentum. Can they find that energy once more? I think for Sampras, at the very least, this lane will be relatively simple for him. He will be able to control it, no problem. And if he keeps on trading against ATM like this, eventually there'll be enough stacks where he cannot dodge out of the slam anymore. However, on the top side of this, I think the hardest role right now, a lot of weight is on both Benny QT as well as Yaoi. Benny QT not only must protect himself against ATM with or without Yaoi regardless, but still needs to be able to deal relevant damage to the front line and as many people as possible when he throws out muddles.
And on top of that, right, I don't think Sanji's job is any easier, right? He's supposed to deal out the damage But the crazy thing about the Farsa is despite the damage that you can have, you're so vulnerable because, you're standing idly by.
Sanji comes in to drive-by. ATM flickers backwards. Sanji flickers forward. 1-for-1 trade. That's not a very good trade for Echo at all.
I beg to differ.
Really?
Because Sanji is almost guaranteed level 4 no matter what as soon as he shows up on the EXP side of the map. This is personally great for Sanford because now this volatile lane, or more importantly, this already losing matchup has now become impossible for ATM to really recover if Sanford continues to play at the level he is right now.
Oh.
All right. With the trades happening right now, 2 minutes are on the clock. Both of these teams already centering their focus onto the next objective. A lot are already having their level 4 resources. Let's see how this pans out.
ATM just hit level 4, and thus he will be going in with the bravest warriors, just jumping right in. Big stunts on Kaltizi and Sanji. Unfortunately, untimely, because he would have been able to stop Kaltizi with their retribution.
What did I say? Sanji still hits level 4, gets away with a kill, and is still totally fine here.
That's
Sorry,
right.
it's not necessarily a kill, but at the very least, you know what I'm talking about, right? He hasn't really lost too much, and arguably I would say that he has an EXP lead over his opponent onto CCAT.
But even if Sanji is going to be able to get those levels, to get that farm, later on, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult to have an impact in those team fights. I'm going to continue later.
Sanji is back down to the bottom lane, slams, and everything just gonna be thrown right at ATM. And of course, the split attaches himself onto the ATM. Sanji and Sanford back as a dynamic duo.
Yeah, ATM's not having the bestest of times. 0-1 already in the first 3 minutes. They are still trying to just uneven that lane matchup. But now CCAT.
Well, at least there is an RWM to keep himself intact and root himself down onto the ground. Kaltizi, Sanji, and Sanford unfortunately missed that opportunity.
Ooh, thank God Kaltizi didn't die there. He really needs level 7 right now because Chima is able to power farm the rest of his remaining jungle camps if he decided to fall.
And now Yaoi doesn't really quite have a lot of help to work with. Medicuty immediately dashes forward and the color protection is going to be working out for him. Yaoi connects down. He doesn't have a lot of help to work with. But unfortunately, Sanji's special aspect is a little bit too far. He wasn't able to quite connect. But it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Shama is dead for an exchange for the Roma. CCAT all the way down the middle like Kaltizi. He doesn't have the retribution, but he still manages to get the kill down onto CCAT.
I love this, right? Already the first few minutes of the game, you can see trades happening left and right, but so far, Echo is still leading in economy.
And ATM completely cornered down. Sanford and Kaltizi win. Even Sanji, they're all in here. The big start from ATM, almost doing something on the Kaltizi. He's still alive. He wanted to get himself out so badly, but he wasn't able to.
Beautifully done by Kaltizi. Now the hardest part is securing this next objective.
Slams down an artillery barrage, allows Kaltizi to eventually get the turtle, and the rest of Echo backs themselves out of there.
It's so insane, right? Because Burn X Flash were trying to put Echo in a really discomfort. And the fact that Kaltizi was so low, I thought that perhaps they couldn't contest it. But even despite being thrown everything in the arsenal of Burn X Flash, he was still able to secure that retribution, and that is the Kaltizi we know and love.
Absolutely, right? This team, Echo, was known for having just a little bit of momentum and stretching the lead so far across the board that it felt impossible to come back from. And this is how Echo is going to be playing. They're on a comp that they're comfortable with, that they played hours and hours of scrims every single day to get to this level. Just raw instincts coming out of them. You can see how sharp they are. They smell that this is that last game, and if they finish this quick, they get to go home early.
Right now, that lane matchup, right? Carry as well as a Benny QT, both of them are at the same level. Whereas, who's supposed to win in this early game?
Well, I mean, Echo is supposed to win in this early game. Maybe not necessarily the mid lane, but at least for the side lanes, right? That's why you're seeing that BXF are making sure that they are utilizing both their jungle as well as their roam support to come up onto this top side to really affect the lane that matters. And in this case, it's going to be on Donut, right? He needs the goal.
3 versus 3, Sanji activates the artillery, pushes Shama, D7, and Donut out of the way, while Benny Cutie just gonna be hammering down and chipping the turrets down. Literally, this 3 versus 3 fight was teetering on a breaking point.
Yeah, even in the bottom lane, it feels like things are getting a little stale here for both of them. I thought that perhaps maybe because of the early kills coming onto ATM, it would make it a little bit more in direction for Sanford, but the fact that ATM with that level 4 power spike, now things are getting a little bit more equal. How is that going to fare for both of these teams one day? Whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah, we connect down on Shama. They really want to buzz him down, but unfortunately, the blessing of the Moon God is just going to be connecting. Sanford is still right on top of Shama, while ATM is all the way over to the backlines. It's Roma against 3. It's ESP Linus against 3. But the thing is, Sanford might be able to get away, while ATM couldn't. That's the difference.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Once again, we're seeing this is the lead, right? Even though ATM is like, yes, I'm trying to equalize. I should be more punished by Sanford. But the fact is that Sanford is walking away with 3 assists, not kills, and now Kaltizi is able to walk into enemy jungle territory.
D7 barely manages to get away. That's rough.
And this is what I was really concerned about coming into the drafts, right? We don't see the same amount of impact from D7 like we did before because of how Echo are so great at trying to split the map. But here we go, Yaoi!
That's not good for ATM! It's gonna be taken down once again. The middle lane turn is just about a sliver of health. Echo takes this game by the force, and ATM died 5 times already.
I mean, look at this. The momentum that's being built by both Sanji and as well as Sanford is now influencing the rest. Everybody else feels it, right? The momentum pushing them forward. A 4.2k. Echo starting to look back in form. And unfortunately for Burnex Flash, they're the ones looking a little sloppy now. They're the ones who have recognized that, oh man, this is how Echo felt in game 1 and in game 2.
The curious thing is I was actually quite concerned with the Farsa pick. I didn't believe it. I wasn't convinced because of how much dive Burnex Flash has in their arsenal to cancel out. What?
Yeah, we didn't connect with the Tyrant's Revenge, but at least that was a Tyrant's Rage, as well as the Phantom Airstrike that ultimately ends Shema.
Now, this is what we want to see coming in from Echo, right? A 4-1 split. Make sure that Glue, who is already super strong and dominating his lane, to keep his influence on that top side of the map. While the rest of Echo, they all need to be together. The raw damage that they have is more than enough to take out any member of the side of Burnex Flash if they start walking up. And better yet, if D7 pops his ult early, they could get the Glue to rotate down and pull someone out of position again and again and again. I mean, look at this. ATM is just watching this happen in front of his eyes.
And now the purple bomb gets stolen away by the hands of Kaltizi. Shama is slowly being starved out by Echo. And to make it even worse, the Lord is currently available. Kaltizi doesn't have... Oh wait, he still has his retribution.
But he's nowhere near the Lord right now. It doesn't look like Burnex Flash want to go for a commit onto this. They're looking for something else there in the top side. Yeah, no contest whatsoever. Burnex Flash, they're letting it go to Echo.
Let's not forget, same problem as last time. Their high ground defense coming out for Burnex Flash is very, very real. Even though ATM is 5-1 and 0, if he Bravest Fight his raging slashes an entire wave, he's most likely going to destroy that wave, assuming that he's already got his first item built, the Hunter's Strike in this particular case. Other than that, Echo, you need to start fishing for people, right? Look for people to, try and go for this wave. And I mean, ATM, and eventually ATM is not going to be worth killing anymore because he's not worth any gold. C-Cat and Shima are going to be the ones.
Tyrant's Rage onto ATM. ATM flickers himself away. Kaltizi wants him to push his advantage, but unfortunately not quite enough to bring him down in order to get the numbers advantage.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. If Yaoi can't go for a pick onto the members of Burnex Flash, I feel like the defense momentum for Burnex Flash is going to give them a little bit of an advantage.
And now, they're going to slow push all the waves in. They're going to crash it about the same time. And even on that top side, Sanford, well played, just to make sure that they synchronize in its collapse.
Now, with all 3 lanes marching down together, with the Lord marching down the bottom lane with his trusty trident, doesn't have to crash just yet. Suddenly, HP doesn't look good, but never mind, he's still in artillery. ATM closes the gap, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Sanford is still taking on to the front lines. They still have a lot of goons.